welcome you to your foremost power sector program, Power Wheel, a production of the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN. Keep staying safe and follow all preventive guidelines rolled out by the federal government and health experts towards containing the spread of the coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic. In this edition, Power Wheel brings you a special report on the operational activities at the critical transmission substations in the Abuja region of the Transmission Company of Nigeria. You will get to know more about the substation's capacities, the heightened health and safety practices by TCN in-house engineers. The operators on duty also tell their experiences on how TCN worked assiduously at these substations to ensure stable power supply during the 5-week lockdown in the Federal Capital Territory, Lagos and Ogun states, as well as movement restrictions across other states to curb the spread of COVID-19. Have a splendid viewing experience. My name is Chinwenwa Anyao. The Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, has 9 regions nationwide. These are for coordinating the effective evacuation of bulk power to networks of the 11 power distribution companies, DISCOs, in Nigeria. In each of these TCN regions, there are many power transmission substations comprising 330 kilovolt and 132 kilovolt capacities.
In this interview, the Regional Transmission Manager, RTM, Engineer Sule Ahmed Abdulaziz, speaks on the operations at the region and how the operators at the various substations under the region stayed afloat during the COVID-19 lockdown in the Federal Capital Territory, FCT.
My name is Engineer Sule Ahmed Abdulaziz. I'm the Regional Transmission Manager of Abuja region. I've been in Abuja regions since from November last year, which is 2019. I was transferred from Shiroro region and I came to Abuja region in November. And since from there, I have been the Regional Transmission Manager.
How many substations does TCN have in this region? And what is the estimated wheeling capacity of this region?
This region was cut out of Shiroro region in 2017. And it has 2 sub-regions. We have the Abuja sub-region and the Ajakuta sub-region. The Abuja sub-region is overseeing the substations in the Abuja city. That's like what we have: the Katampe substation, the Apo substation, we have the Karu substation, we have the Kubwa, Gwagwalada, and Suleja. Whereas the other sub-region in Ajakuta, they are in charge of Okene, Lokoja, Gregu, and Okpila. These are the 2 regions under Abuja region. In the region, we have 6 number 330-132 substation, and we have 16 number 132/33 substation. In all, we have 3,243 megawatts. That's our wheeling capacity.
What is the nature of ongoing projects in the region?
In Abuja region, the projects we have are many. Like the first one is the 330 kV substation at Apo. We call it New Apo, 330-132 substation. It's ongoing. Then we have 5 number 132/33 kV substation. We have one at Lokogoma, we have one at Kubwa, we have one at Kuje, and we have one at Gorimpa. These are the ones that are going with the associated transmission lines. And apart from that, we have one of the old project that is done by NIPP, which is at Lafia in Nasarawa State. And there is a line which is going to feed the substation from Abuja. So these are the important projects that are currently going on in the region now. And by the time we have this project completed, I think we are going to have a good improvement in the power supply to Abuja and the environment.
How has COVID shutdown impacted work in your region?
The lockdown period is very difficult, but we manage as professionals, and from the directive we have from the management, we try to make a roster so that our staff can work on shift. And with the help of that, we are able to attend to all faults, and we do not allow anybody to suffer because of the lockdown. Our people are still there working, and we will continue to work till things get better. Then the challenge we face is vandalism. Our lines are always vandalized. Anytime, especially from October last year till now, we hardly spent 2 weeks without problem from vandals. Most of the time, our line, especially the Katampe Shiroro line or the Gwagwalada Lokoti line, you will just find that the conductor is cut down by some individuals that are just trying to make small money out of it. This is the greatest problem we are facing. Then the second problem is security. Recently, one of our staff was kidnapped in Ajakota side when he was trying to work on a transmission line. That area is very, very difficult. Our staff cannot even work once it is 5 o'clock. So these are the two major problems we are having now.
What do you say about building capacity for in-house engineers at TCN? And what is your advice to the staff?
The engineers now, by doing this internal job, number one, a lot of money is saved for the authority. And secondly, their skill is improved daily. So even by the time they leave this place, they will be able to do similar jobs for different companies. So I think this is a good way forward. This regime now, they are encouraging engineers to learn their job and do it in-house. They should take this one as a big advantage and improve their skill. They may not know the importance of what they are getting now, but it is after, either when they are looking for another job or when they have retired and they want to start something, they will see the type of skill they have acquired. And I hope they will continue with that so that they become experts in that field.
Considering the effects of the pandemic, what is your expectation in terms of project delivery this year?
Our expectation was to deliver Apo New Substation, Gorumpa Substation, Kuje Substation, and Libi Substation. But now with this coronavirus, I think we are going to have some delay because these materials are produced abroad. And the companies that are doing this job, most of them, all the countries are affected with this coronavirus. So we are going to have some delay definitely on this.
The Power will crew toured critical transmission substations under the Abuja region in the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, and brings you reports on how they innovatively operated during the 5-week COVID-19 lockdown period, as well as the key transformations that go on across these facilities.
This is the 330, 132, 33 kilovolt Gwagwalada transmission substation, a facility of TCN under its Abuja region. In the control room of the substation, the principal manager, System Operations Engineer Damina Bakuts, and an assistant manager, System Operations Engineer Awal Muhammad Rufai, were on duty when the Power Wheel crew visited the facility.
The capacity of this station is 2 by 150 MVA, 330/132/33 kV. Then step down to 2 by 60 MVA, 132/33. But at the moment, we have only 160 MVA working.
On the coverage area of the large substation, Engineer Bakut said the transmission substation wheels bulk energy to other 132 kV substations and also backfeed 330 kV Shiroro transmission substation in Niger State and Katampe transmission substation in Abuja. Traversing through the weeks of the COVID-19 lockdown was not an easy one, but at Gwagwalada substation, The TCN engineers scaled through as they were given the support by the management, including the provision of safety kits, among others.
We have to cope because we are essential staff. So we have been doing our best. You can see from the gate, we produce sanitizers. Here we produce it. In our rooms, everybody has it.
On his part, Assistant Manager System Operations Awal Mohammed Rufai said his experience working in a large power substation has been exciting.
First of all, I would say it's challenging. At the same time, it's very interesting. Because you are dealing with 330 kV lines, which are from Lokoja, and the two lines are from Lokoja. At the same time, you are dealing with 132 kV lines, which are going to Apo. At the same time, you'll be dealing with the 33 kV feeders, which radiate to Gwagwalada and environs.
Engineer Barcode further explained the complex process of bulk power transmission at the switchyard of the facility.
A 330 kV switchyard, where 330 kV lines came in. 2 lines from Lokoja and 1 line from Shiroro.
That was quite a huge power facility at Gwagwalada town in the FCT. There is another of such capacity, and that is the Katampe Transmission Substation 1 in the Abuja city. This enormous facility has a 330 kilovolt capacity that feeds 2 other 132 kilovolt substations within the premises. Katampe TS1 also has a reactor that helps to regulate the voltage of bulk electricity towards sustaining the supply of improved power supply in Abuja. Here's more reports from the Katampe 330 kV transmission substation.
At the 330 132 kV Katampe Transmission Substation 1, the Senior Manager System Operations and Katampe Area Control Supervisor, Engineer Ojo Thomas Oladeji, said the station has undergone several expansion phases.
This station was commissioned in 2003. Initially, when it was commissioned, it's 2 by 150 MVA. But you know, as Abuja is expanding and they need to take care of the load, they add additional 150 MVA. So altogether now we have about 3 by 150 MVAs.
The Katampe Area Control Supervisor expatiated on the supply source for this second gateway of access to energy supply for Abuja, Nigeria's capital city, and its environs.
We get our supply both from Shiruru and from the Lokoja Axis. That is from Gwagwalada. Our coverage area is much. Our feeder radiates to Kubwa, Suleja, it radiates to Central area, it radiates to Apo, it radiates to Kefi, it radiates to Karu, it radiates to Akwanga. And from there, there is connection to some part of Kaduna State.
He also brought the issue of the in-house engineers' capacity at the TCN to the fore when he said things were getting better.
Human capacity is very, very important. And I want to say that I will give kudos to this present management as regards to that. In every place you go in the industry, safety comes first. And I think they have just distributed some of our PPE, not quite long ago. It's not that we don't have it there, but from time to time as these things expire, they need to be renewed.
The substation and its crew had to operate strategically during the COVID-19 pandemic lockdown to continue the wheeling of bulk power to the discos for onward supply to consumers. Engineer Oladeji said the strategy was quite successful.
The company goes extra miles to present all these sanitizers. We equally need to take extra measure. It's very, very important to adhere to the rules and regulations. Coronavirus is real.
Speaking, Engineer Daniel Ime Akpan, a senior manager system operations, related his experience monitoring the substation at the control room, especially during the COVID-19 lockdown?
Well, it's interesting because our major responsibility is to ensure there's a constant supply because the lockdown is not a palatable, experience. So if there should be, outage, blackout, that would be bad.
At the switchyard of the 330 132 kV Katampe substation, the transformers and lines stood out.
You can see our transformers. You can see our switchyard. Yeah, the capacity of this reactor is 75 MVAR. So these are the part of instruments we used in controlling the quality of what is going out to the consumers.
Focus on critical power transmission substations in Abuja continues shortly after this break. Stay with us.
Did you know that the COVID-19 pandemic first hit Wuhan province in China in December 2019? That the pandemic has killed tens of thousands of people in the United States of America, France, Italy, Spain, the United Kingdom, among other countries? That the virus was first brought into Nigeria by an Italian expatriate who has been treated and discharged. That the index cases were travelers who came into Nigeria from the affected countries, mostly in Europe. That Nigeria has recorded several cases and are still testing. That the best way yet to avoid further spreading the virus is to consciously practice the following. Wash your hands with soap frequently to keep it clean. Sanitize your hands often with alcohol-based sanitizers. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth with your hands. Wear protective masks to avoid the spread of the virus. Practice physical distancing rule and avoid crowded places. Follow all these measures as given from time to time by medical experts and government authorities. Most importantly, stay at home. The Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, enjoins all to work together to ensure the pandemic is curtailed. It is a fight for us and our future generations. Remember, if you're not an essential staff, stay home and stay safe. This message is brought to you by the management of the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN.
Ensure you stay safe and keep adhering to all preventive guidelines as government opens up the economy in phases. You have heard from TCN in-house engineers driving the power grid system operations at the 330, 132 Gwagwalada and Katampe transmission substations. The special report continues with focus on the 132, 33 kV transmission substations within Abuja that get their energy supply from the two power stations for onward supply through the network of the Abuja Electricity Distribution Company, AEDC, to consumers. Here's more reports on the tour of some of these substations.
Sharing fence with the 330, 132 kV Katampe transmission substation, TS1 at the 132, 33 kV Katampe transmission substation 2 and the 132, 33 kV Katampe transmission substation 3. Engineer Beatrice Johanna is a senior manager on system operations on duty at the 1 by 100 MVA Katampe TS3, provided more insight on the Katampe TS2 and the facility expansion that led to the commissioning of the Katampe TS3 in 2018.
In our rating, 100 MVA can give out 80 megawatts. This substation was commissioned to increase the power wheeling to federal capital. As you can see, we have 2 number MVA Katampe 2, but the 2 number Katampe 2 cannot satisfy the present power challenge in FCT. Since we commissioned this station, we're able to radiate 2 feeders. Formerly, we have Maitama at Katampe 2, so we have to take over Maitama so that we can give the entire Maitama enough power supply. Then we also have Pape, which also, as you can see, Pape village. So we now create a new feeder for the entire Pape village so that they can also enjoy the power supply.
Engineer Johanna also advised TCN staff and the general public on keeping strict to the rolled out preventive measures to stem the spread of the coronavirus.
So I'm advising us, even as we are coming to office, we should adhere to the laid down rule as far as COVID-19 is concerned.
The 132-33 kV Central Area Gas Insulated Substation, GIS, is the only one of its kind in the Abuja region of TCN, situated within the heart of the Abuja city center. Most of its compartments and cables were installed using the underground model. Engineer Jethro Shola, a manager system operations at TCN, was on duty at the substation when the power wheel crew visited the facility.
GIS is gas insulated substation. It's not like you didn't see so much gantry, all are, they are all enclosed.
He further explained vast coverage areas of the substation that includes the central parts of Abuja and some of its extensions.
Our coverage area include Jabi, Gariki, part of Gariki, Wuse 1, Maitama, and the central area. The central area that is towards the Federal Secretariat and its environs anyway, because we feed along up to Grand Square, up to that side.
Commenting on reforms at TCN, he said in-house engineers and field workers are getting better attention.
The safety kit are also, has given us a lot of ability to carry out our work.
Engineer Shola also gave some words of advice as Nigerians battles hard to defeat the scourge of the coronavirus pandemic.
My advice to staffs is to ensure neatness, cleanliness at all times.
Here is a soundbite for this package brought to you by the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of TCN, Mr. Yuji Mohammed. Take a listen.
TCN staff have done very well. They have done very, very wonderful. Even under this corona, I had to go to Kano because our TCN engineers took a transformer that got burnt and brought it back to life, painted it, make it, and energized it and put it on the grid, back to the grid. I have to go there to go and thank them and commend them for a wonderful job. And as usual, we have agreed that 3 of them that do the best among them are going to get a letter of commendation from me, which we are going to do. We are going to give them. So these are some of the things that I would say TCN engineers and staff have performed very well under the period of Corona, and I commend them, and I want them to continue to support Nigeria because we have to provide electricity for our people.
That's it on this edition of Power Wheel. Do join us next week for another refreshing edition. This episode and the previous ones are available on our YouTube channel. You can also interact with us on our platforms as we strive to serve you better. The management and staff of the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, want you to stay safe and alive. As work and economic activities gradually pick up, ensure you're still staying safe away from COVID-19 by washing your hands, sanitizing your hands, practicing physical distancing, and other preventive measures released by the federal government and health officials. I am Chinwenwa Anyao. Enjoy the rest of your day.